Dearest beloved Swami and dear Sai brothers and sisters, I am so happy to be here because being here at birthday time, we all have such memories about Swami, and especially for me when I've been lucky enough to sing for him. The first 12 years of my life, I was always sitting at the back, and in fact Swami never even, well, he gave me the odd glance, but he never spoke to me. But all that changed when it came to the 70th birthday. About 6 months before, I got a telephone call saying, would I like to sing for him? And, well, I was quite happy, and I thought, well, I've just made my first bhajan CD, so this is bound to be, they want bhajans. But I was told, no, he wants you to do your Western music. So I thought, okay, so I wrote what I thought was suitable songs and arrived with my blues musicians. Now, blues music started about 100 years ago, and it's very much from the heart and very spiritual in its own strange way. So I arrived with an electric guitar and a drummer and a boogie-woogie piano player and a bass player. And in those days, this kind of music was never heard here. And always at the birthdays, it seemed to be, it was always classical Indian and rather serious stuff. And when they had a week long of celebrations, and all the great Indian musicians and sportsmen and things, where they were all there. And on the very last day, on the 23rd, I was put on to sing. And I come out with my musicians, and the moment the music starts, Swami gets up from his chair and goes over to the jeweler and is swinging away happily. Well, he might have been happy, but I know that about 99% of the audience were extremely unhappy. They'd been expecting sitar or something. And I have since met various students where they were students then. Now a lot of them are, I mean, they're men, and some of them have grown up and have got married and had children. And they've all said to me, God, we hated that music that you did. But they since have learnt to love it, because Swami's message has to go everywhere, and it has to be taken in all forms of music. And his message of love is so important. Somebody said to me the other day, why is it that you sing facing this way and not like all the other artists do, facing this way? And the reason is this: I have never sung to Swami, I sing for Swami. You know, if I sang to him when he would be sitting... If I would be singing and he'd be there looking at me, I think I would be reduced to a jelly, a pulp, and I'd be crying. And that's no good. He wants me to do my job, and my job is to go out and talk about him and sing about him. Okay, I've sung when I've been in the cycle hall, and he's sometimes been sitting there, or he's sometimes been sitting there. But I don't really look at him. I might give a little peep of a glance just to check he's looking happy or still there. But basically, my duty, my job, is to sing to all of you. And the one thing, the most important message that always keeps coming back and back and back, is that he is always with us. You know how many times he said it, that he is within. We don't need to go anywhere else ever to find Swami. He is within us. And as Leonardo said, he gave us a promise. And because he gave this promise, we have to go out as his messengers of love. And this word, the promise, leads me very nicely, I think, into the first song I'd like to sing for you. I wrote it for the 80th birthday, and I sang it for him in the stadium, well, for you, and it is called The Promise. With a lamp of love, you'll never be in darkness. You can hold it near, it'll take you far. Oh, the lamp of love is illumination to see what you really are. Oh, Prema Swarupa, embodiment months of love. We all belong to the one who holds that vast blue dome above. With a lamp of love, you'll never be in darkness. That's a promise, that's a promise. From behind the curtain, he pulls the strings, gives us hope and gives us wings to fly to where we all belong, to hear the song the angel sings. Once you hear him calling, it cannot be ignored, for he catches us when we're falling. And he says, am I not your Lord? Yes, Swami, you are my Lord. This love is like a diamond that shines for all to see. It's the only jewel of value. It's the one that sets us free. For worldly pleasures mean nothing compared to the treasures of the heart. The one who's always giving has made love into a living art. So give your heart completely to the one who is adored, to hear those words said sweetly. And those words are, am I not your Lord? Oh yes, Swami, you are my Lord. So light the lamp of love, and your life will be complete if you follow in the footsteps and fall at the lotus feet. So when trouble comes, you'll be going on. You won't give up, you'll be shining through. And the moment you surrender, he'll be there taking care of you. He'll never let us down. Of that we are assured. So when those storm clouds gather, he's the one to bring the calm. That's why all the hearts are saying, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram Bhagavan. With the lamp of love, you'll never be in darkness. If you hold it near, it'll take you far. For the lamp of love is illumination to see what you really are. Oh, Prema Swarupa, embodiments of love. We all belong to the one who holds vast blue dome above. With a lamp of love, you'll never be in darkness. If you hold it near, it'll take you far. With a lamp of love, you'll never be in darkness. That's a promise, that's his promise. Thank you. When I sang for the 75th birthday, also in the stadium, I came also with my blues musicians. And I was still being a bit of a rebel. For some reason, I refused to get into a sari. I was always much happier in the old shalva kameez. And Swami would often come sort of what I call the backstage area and check that my dupatta was pinned in the perfect position. He didn't want me going da-da and everything flies off. And for the following year, within 1 week, he gave me 8 saris. So that was my hint, a very serious hint, that I had to try and get a little bit more elegant. And he still used to come, when I'd be singing here, he used to come back and make sure that everything was pinned correctly. Because, you know, he used to be so elegant and correct, and he wanted us to be elegant and correct. Well, one time in an interview room, he said to me, "I'm going to give you spiritual diamonds, and you will take them all over the world." I had no idea what he was talking about, so I just said, "Yes, Swami," as one does, because I really didn't understand. But within 1 year, I started getting invitations to go and sing all over the world if I was not doing my normal concerts, to come and sing for Swami. And I kept thinking, what were these spiritual diamonds? And now I've come to the conclusion that they are, first of all, stories, because if one has had experiences with him and one is lucky enough to have had them, then it's my duty to go out and share them if people want to hear them. But the other spiritual diamond are the bhajans. Swami used to stress so much the importance of bhajans, because I could go to anywhere in the world and there's a Sai center and I can sing in and we'd be like one family, this thing of unity. And didn't he always used to say, unity is divinity? Well, I'd like to do now one bhajan with you all, and this is a bhajan that I think probably has to be my favorite. Today is a day of doing old favorites, and this was a song, bhajan, that when I first came here in the days of sand on the floor and being rained on sometimes, whenever this bhajan was performed, the hairs on my arm used to go up, it would hit me in my heart, and I loved this song. And for about 8 years, I carried on loving this bhajan. And then for some reason, 2 very important lines were taken out. The boys weren't singing it, and I couldn't understand it. I'll tell you what the lines were, and then you'll have a very good hint as to what song is I'm going to sing. The lines were, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. And I couldn't understand why they weren't singing this. I even met the man who wrote the song a few years ago in Delhi, Mr. Nagraj. And by the way, he also wrote Prema Ishwara Hai, another hot favorite of mine. And so I was in a quandary because I wanted to go and record this bhajan in the studios. In fact, I've recorded it twice on 2 different CDs. So Swami called me in and I said to him, you know, this wonderful song, I want to do it, but what's happened to the 2 lines? Should I take them out? Because for me, if a composer has written a song, they are there for a reason. And he said very strongly, no, you put them back in. So I'm saying to all of you boys who still don't sing those lines, I'd like to do this song the way it was written, the way it should be sung, the way that Swami said it should be sung, and let's all do together, Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Supita Prabhu Allahu Akbar, Shri Sai Pati Sai Tumoho. Supita Prabhu Allahu Akbar, Shri Sai Pati Sai Tumoho. Supita Prabhu Allahu Akbar, Shri Sai Pati Sai Tumoho. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Kavi Tumaho, Zoroaster Mahavira Tumaho. Guru Nanak Kavi Tumaho, Zoroaster Mahavira Tumaho. Supita Prabhu Tumaho, Allahu Akbar Tumaho. Supita Prabhu Tumaho, Allahu Akbar Tumaho. La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Supita Prabhu Allahu Akbar, Shri Sai Pati Sai Tumaho. La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. Guru Nanak Kavi Tumaho, Zoroaster Mahavira Tumaho. Supita Prabhu Tumaho, Allahu Akbar Tumaho. La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Thank you. You will notice that I do sway around quite a bit when I'm singing. I can't help it. When the music starts, then I'm lost. And Swami once said on the men's veranda, he said, look at Dana, she's always going like this. And he did me much better than I do me. So I know that he never minded that I swung around. And when I first heard bhajans all those years ago in London, there was only one bhajan book and it had loads of mistakes in it actually. But on the first page there was a list of do's and don'ts when you're how to sing bhajans. And one of them said, Do not move, do not sway when you sing bhajans. I knew I was heading for trouble when I was going to sing. I just can't stop moving. Anyway, I'd like to finish with a song that I wish I'd written myself. I nearly always sing songs that I've written myself because that way I can put my heart and soul into it. But I was in Chicago, it could have been about 18 years ago, and I'd gone over there to give a little talk and sing. And after the whole thing was over, it was quite late at night, and I'm sitting up in a room upstairs, and a wonderful woman called Geeta Chanalia took her harmonium and she just started playing. And the moment she played this song that she had written, that I wished I'd written, again, hairs on my arms went up, and I knew that this was a song I must record. And the thing that hooked it for me was the word rose petals. And I've always had this thing about rose petals. It started because I suppose it was Swami's 71st birthday, he'd asked me to sing in the Purnachandra Hall. And I had a bit of a problem. How was I going to offer him a rose? Because he was sitting down in what I'd sort of call the pits down there in the dark areas. I couldn't possibly go down through the men, which would have been a big no-no in those days, and offer a rose. So the only thing I could do was to kind of offer him rose petals like that. And the other thing is, when I was 15, I was swept away in an avalanche in Switzerland. My leg's never been normal. So Swami knows that. Actually, one time when it was really bad before the concert, he took me in and he sat me on the floor and he massaged with his feet like this, my knee, for about 10 minutes so that I had enough power to get through the performance. Anyway, ever since then, as you saw, I throw the rose petals. I never gave a rose. And even at I think it was the 80th birthday, so many people wanted to see him and talk to him after the concert. I didn't want anything. I was just thinking, how can I give him my rose petals? And there's a big line of artists all filing past. And I was thinking, I'm not going to talk to him anyway. He doesn't need to say anything to me. I've just sung for him. And instead, all he did was he lifted the robe, stuck out his feet. I plonked the rose petals on it. He put the robe down again and tucked his feet back in. I thought, that's enough. So I'd like to do this song. I think I've sung it already twice for Swami. And as I said, it's a song I wish I'd written myself. It's called Shower the Rose Petals. Shower the rose petals, shower the rose petals, shower the rose petals, shower the rose petals. Lord of the universe is walking towards us. Lord of the universe is walking towards us. Shower the rose petals, shower the rose petals, shower the rose petals, shower the rose petals. Lovely fragrance from the lovely fragrance from the roses. Lovely fragrance is Baba's vibhuti. Lovely fragrance is Baba's vibhuti. I am in heaven. Shower the rose petals. I am in heaven. Shower the rose petals. Faith is truly a wonderful gift. Faith is truly a wonderful gift. Fill your heart with love. Shower the rose petals. Fill your heart with love. Shower the rose petals. See the rainbow in the sky. See the rainbow in the sky. Baba walking softly by. Baba walking softly by. Loving everyone. Shower the rose petals. Loving everyone. Shower the rose petals. Shower the rose petals. Shower the rose petals. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu.